Alrighty. Well then. Just double checking before it shatters again, like every other time. So anyway. Last we left our heroes, they began their descent down towards Harnock's Rest. However, this story, or at least this part of it, takes place after the race had been completed and the party returned to the surface. Having begun their move into their new home, Phoenix Crest Manor, a gorgeous, massive plot of land with plentiful acres, plentiful facilities, and a bountiful hoard of history attached. Today, on this most fortunate of days, we join the story of Ame, a very large fox in a much larger world, now seeking to commune with the world itself, not simply as a druid, but with the anima, that which embodies the plane itself, and that which may have answers for the many questions Ame may pose. We join them now at the Phoenix Crest Manor, where Ame and Kane are walking outside, heading out the front door.
So, you were mentioning you were going to the Republic place earlier, right? And I was going to be coming with you for the whole big plane thing, if I recall correctly.
Kane's just going to stretch and go, oh yeah, I just finished all my big stuff. Yeah. Puts hand on your shoulder. We'll go now.
Wait, what?
As we, as I hit my favorite button. God damn it. Please.
I'm just standing. Kane, what's wrong, Kane?
Don't. God dang it.
You know,
My
you
magic.
Teleportation dysfunction.
One
I
second.
understand. You just got your magic back. I know this can be a difficult process for you.
Go now. And we're good.
Alrighty.
Perfect.
So, as that is a fairly familiar place, you're pretty damn close to on target.
I hit 75 on the dot. It's perfect.
As you vanish off, being dragged along through the teleportation spell, you arrive at a familiar site about 20 feet off of where you intended to land.
Fuck. Ah.
But yeah, Kane's little, so the description is very simple. Kane puts a hand on his shoulder, goes like, oh, well, magic, please. And then they're shrouded in a little darkness as they just appear here, and then he's like,
honey, she just runs her hands through her hair. Honey, you need to warn me next time before you do that. Ugh. She's just wobbling. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna puke.
Well, here it is. It's up. I'll guide you through this, and then I'll probably. I got things to do. Look at me. So let me just show you.
Let me talk to it first before you go heading out.
It's that big crystal right there. It's probably still mad at me.
So this is like the world's view, right?
Yeah.
You are getting closer, you can feel as though there's eyes glaring directly at you from within the crystal.
Kane puts his hands, he gets closer, puts his hands together, like, please forgive me type thing.
Ame slowly raises the hand, starts speaking primordial. Hello there, Anima Kvesti.
Ah, my ears. Get closer, you have to touch it.
The sound of the world shaking comes out from Ame's mouth, and Ame, the crystal seems to glow toward you briefly.
Goes over and gently puts a hand on the crystal.
As you place your hand upon the crystal, You see some kind of mass of energy begin to rush up from deep, deep, deep within the plane. As a massive figure, slim and very refined, though absolutely alien in its appearance, emerges from within that mass of power before your hand. As it gently reaches its long, slender fingers made of a material you can't quite place toward the edge of the crystal, as though to make contact with your hand, what do you do?
I keep my hand there.
As the entity makes contact with the edge of the crystal, you feel yourself being pulled in, as though it is made of liquid as the entity begins to float upward, making space within this crystalline space for you.
No resistance here, darling.
You speak the primordial tongue. I need not even use telepathy. But you are not from here, are you?
I'm from the plane you folk on this here rock cold. Altima, I believe?
Thou art from the Eld sibling of Vibrance High. What is your name, small one? I am unfamiliar with you.
Name's called Ame, sweetheart. You a big boy? They're bigger than even me when I get into my big old funk.
I am Anima Kvesti. I am the embodiment of this world. For what do you seek counsel, small fox?
Well, I'll be honest. Well, first off, Ame just points toward herself. I have a little bit of that, Terra fella in me from back on Altima. And I figured that out of all the people to talk to, one of the literal planes would probably be one of the best bets.
The crystal begins to glow brightly as this entity's magic begins to seem to flow over everything. Pulsing vibrantly in a glorious display of light. As the light begins to warm over you and expand outward even further, you feel as though something is scanning you in a way, like your very essence is being poured over. Thou do contain some portion of what was once long lost. My sibling hath sent you, not purposefully though the conditions to fulfill may still yet be met. Dost thou seeketh the path to walk as a primordial?
Well, I may scratch the side of her cheek. I mean, if you want to hear my perfectly honest opinion, I'm not exactly sure I'm the one to the task, but there's that little problem that, she just shrugs. If it's not me that does it, who the hell will? Gotta make the world gotta get those fucking bastards that are hurting everybody off these planes. She just shrugs.
Very well. You have already fulfilled one condition to become the Terra. However, the trials will be many and great for you to become as powerful as you could be. You will need to bathe in the world as well as the primal energy running about it. There are several ways you could attempt to do so, some easier, some harder. And you will not regain your full deityhood. As the dragons currently reign over such power, you will not match them for a great deal of time. But you seek to reclaim your former glory.
Yeah, I do.
Very well then. Once the ritual where the small fox of pure white has been completed, sacrificing the necessary, cared for, and beloved, you must appear there, holding the small stone thou hast kept this whole time, and you shall meet the remnants, the shadow and ghost of the former Terra, for a brief moment that will seem like an endless flow of time. You shall be instructed by it how to resurrect and mantle its own form, and unlock the wisdom of the planes themselves unto your own self within the depths of your mind. Art thou prepared for the potentialities associated, the suffering that will come, and the uphill battle you shall endlessly wage, seeking forth for the power you have once lost against the child and children of many kings?
She just shrugs. If me, who else would it be?
Once thou hast
not-
mantled, you will have to fight each dragon, slaying them and absorbing their power, something they will not allow to be easily done, and something quite difficult. The twins of Tempest, Astraphandel, the flashing lord who strikes like lightning, with the speed and ferocity of such. Vracharon, the trembling skies, who shakes the very plain as it hovers overhead, just out of sight in the clouds. Tarakpakal, the frozen waste, whose chill is so deep and harsh that even time may stop next to it. Chepetetiaksin, the Celeritas cauldron, for whom even time seems to accelerate. Deliulvel Ukal, the world's solvent, who can melt away anything, destroying every and all that dare come within its path. Foskaraglau, the radiant rays whose wings rain down radiant judgment upon all, good, evil, or otherwise, turning the land into nothing but a scorched mess. Kostoxi Usene, the painful demise who can poison even gods, watching them rot and waste away. Thanmor Wolethetos, the shadow which brings death, second only to Traxim von Platinum Gear himself, with his power to reign over death and undeath in these worlds.
And finally, the Worm of Origin, if I do believe so.
Correct. The mightiest of said siblings. Its mere presence can revert the entire plane back to a primordial state, forming not civilizations, but crushing them, reducing them to nothing more than rubble and forestry, able to wield the power of its own siblings, if needed, and destroy nearly all and anything upon the plains. To slay them, you will have to travel the many worlds as the eras pass, and avoid the ire of their father, the almighty Jeskverodon Marfeldom, who seeks place chains on even us worlds, and has cut many of us in twain, separating us across the tether.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. Could be worse.
We are broken, fundamentally and forever, but should you succeed, thou shalt bring hope back to these anima, as broken though we may be. We seek thine guidance, O Terra to be. Will thou be our salvation or our damnation? Only time shall tell.
Tommy smiles at the anima. I hope that through my actions that you may find hope once again, friend.
I am wounded and broken beyond recompense. I suffer the pain of the cancer growing down, endlessly spiraling towards my depths. Thou hast come from there, I feel it. The resonant ambient magic remaining from such a potent spell not long cast on my surface since days of yore and the Great War, where said tumor continuously pumped forth death to slay the living upon my crust. Shalt thou also relieve me of such a horrid pain? Or wilt thou leave it and let nature take course?
Ami looks at Anima Kvesti. I'll do what I can. I cannot promise that I can fix it, but I will do whatever I can to try and relieve the suffering of the plains. Be it the people who live on it, or the beings that reside upon it. Well, that is the duty of Inara Terra. To at least try.
To manage and control and ensure our balance. The worlds are out of balance, indubitably. What little can be recovered, I can only hope you will be able to reestablish. There's greater yet out there. The dungeon itself, as the mortals would call it, is an entity of great concern.
Well, on all the planes, there's things that don't belong on the planes residing upon them. And the dungeon definitely appears to be one of them. And a great danger.
Allow outsiders in, as is their duty. But far too many appear far too frequently. I have not talked to any of my siblings or my other half, nay, in eternity. Though this era is young, its ties run deep to the last. Willst thou be able to recover our pain and our suffering?
I'll try.
Will thee be willing to suffer the endless pain that may follow for our sake?
I mean, of course.
Art thou sure thine path will be horrendous, unimaginably painful?
I dare say that if I can do it, and no matter how much suffering I go through, I'll make it worth something. Unlike most of my life. She says, smiling at Anima Kvesti.
Thine life has worth only of what ye make of it. Shouldest thou decide it has worth, it has. Shouldest thou decide otherwise, it shall not.
And I want to make myself view my life as worthwhile by doing this for you, and for all the beings that reside on the prime material themselves, and to make these planes be in balance once more by the will of the primordial being that I will inhabit. Come.
Then may ye have luck, O small fox. Hast thou any further questions of I, plane which ye stand upon?
I understand you are damaged, but may there be any use in I don't think the white-haired fox is going to be immediately doing that ritual you suggested. I believe they're doing a marriage of some sort. Would there be any value with me staying with you for a period? Or should I take my apps and leave you be to recover over time?
I can attune you to myself, granting ye a body of my own world. Thou art still disconnected from me. Should thou be returnest home, then surely my sibling would be rather disheartened. If thou seekest, I can make thee attuned to my soil, my core, and my surface now and here. Wouldst thou like that?
I'm able to again. But the one known as Naritera will be the one capable of going between the planes, correct?
That is correct.
Does it mean anything to be attuned to one plane when I become the being known as an Naritera?
Yes. You shall have to attune thyself to each of us individually, regathering some semblance of your true power. Though it is broken and shattered, scattered across plains, and even those that overlap us. Seek forth the tree, rooted in the wilds, and your answers shall be granted unto thee. The twin Inari who live beside our world, known as Okami and known as Akuma, have devoured a significant portion of your power. Perhaps may they be willing to guide you towards its origin and to reclaim some semblance of what you once were.
Then I would be fine attuning to you as the first step to trying to reclaim what was lost.
As you continue this conversation, you notice that the world seems to get darker, but not in a natural way. As the map is about to reload, a beam of light seems to crash through the crystal, bathing you through anima in a rainbow onslaught of power. It seems to burn bright, and the light surrounding the anima seems to get brighter and brighter, engulfing you in a vortex of pure light and the surrounding area as well. It gets brighter, brighter, and brighter. And eventually, as you see its pulsing form surrounded in an endless rainbow, you feel this power beginning to wash into you, gathering something from deep within itself, even if wounded, to grant unto you. You feel something deep within your body change. You've felt a little bit uneasy here on this world before, Ame. But now, in an odd way, it feels like a proper home. And the light seems to begin expanding endlessly outward, covering greater and greater area as its ambient power continues to ramp up more and more as more of you becomes attuned to the plane. You also feel like there's something else being written in, something fundamental changing about you. what exactly you're unsure, but bathed in this glorious rainbow of light. Breathe deeply, taking it in. As Ame, could you please transform into your fox form?
Yes, sir. Just my normal one or my big?
Big fox form.
So 1 second, let me edit my width and my height. And fox.
As you take your fox form, bathed in this light, the energy pulsing over you is just right. It feels correct. Almost like something has been missing this entire time. And you begin to notice about yourself a few small details beginning to change. Your claws become crystalline, along with the teeth of your fox form. Your tails seem to swirl on their own, subconsciously. Almost seem to gain a chromatic swirl to them as they do so. Whenever light touches them, their usual green phases between multicolored form. And you notice that your fur becomes quite a bit softer. You were soft and fluffy before, but now...
I'm the softiest and fluffy.
Though you've not grown much fluffier, you are like silk. A fine pillow, or a king's own bed. One could simply sink into you and enjoy the splendor. As the light continues to radiate and grow in intensity, the sun overhead seeming to have no effect over this area. Eventually, the light slowly begins to fade down bit by bit, both in intensity and in size, as the anima, now looking rather exasperated, begins to slowly but surely almost come to a state of rest. Its light now returning to a far dimmer state, bit by bit, until much like it seems to be fading back toward the depths. The light of the world returns. I wish thee luck, O fox. May thou origin, and may thy wisdom be once more granted, O seer of the world, who sees only as we can. And the anima seems to disappear as you feel the crystal itself, now almost as though liquid to you.
It appeared. So I had a quick inquiry. Does the crystal feel different to me than it does to other people, basically, now?
To you, it is as though a veil, a thin buffer between what is within it and what is outside it. If you really wanted to, you could possibly dive deep into the world, but you feel like with the anima resting, it'd be best not to disturb it at this moment.
Yeah, it'd be best to ask permission first.
But so too, you also feel that this is not the only crystal like it on the plane. There might be several.
As a question, Since I am now connected to this, can I try and see if, like, my perception is a bit different and I can, like, try and feel other crystals, like, their general location on this plane now? Since I feel attuned to it. Okay. So, bit of a weird question. Can I roll perception?
Roll. Yeah, I was actually about to ask you to roll perception. Funny enough.
Well, that's just my best skill in animal handling and medicine. Alrighty, let's fucking go. Wait, let me check something. Ah, shit, those are only saving throws. I was about to cheese. Am I allowed to cast guidance on myself beforehand?
Yes, of course. You're not in combat. You're free to do as you see fit.
Fuck you, guidance. Why are you?
Alrighty. You should target yourself for it, and it should automatically apply the effect, I think.
Yep. I didn't target myself. I'll just do the lead. Perception. 15. God damn it. D4.
Doesn't have. Yep. 16. As the guidance fades, you feel your consciousness begin to expand rapidly outward as you see some kind of sigil form before your eyes. Do you close your eyes, or do you keep them open?
I close my eyes.
As you close your eyes, letting your consciousness extend, you see yourself sat before the crystal, here, and you feel your consciousness and perception being pulled far, far to your north. To the northeast, there is another, sat in a large cavern, deep, deep below a rumbling city above. To the west of that, there's a large empty gap. And then further beyond, there is another crystal, sat in a large grove of beautiful, ever-blossoming cherry trees. And further north of that, near the apex of this continent, you see a crystal coated in snow and ice, open to the air and yet encased in solid frost, deep blue and seemingly without end. But you can feel far around it, glancing through the ice, mountains in the far distance, and snowstorms brewing overhead. And then, small shards on small isles scattered around the rest of this realm. These small islands, so far and small, and yet they are a great many. As you open your eyes once more, the sigil seems to dissipate, and you return to exactly where you are.
Alrighty. I suppose there's one last thing that Ame does need to get done before she goes to do something else. As Ame will take the anima's advice, and she's going to call out for a couple of fuckers. As Ame proceeds to fucking put her massive hands together, just like... The two Inari known as Inari Okami and Inari Akuma. I am a being that has been tuned to the plane known as Kvesti. I beseech thee for an audience about Inari Terra. Please respond. She says with her hands clasped together. She slowly pulls them apart.
As you place your massive paws together, your long claws sharp and crystalline, you don't feel their presence, but you become keenly aware of something as you glance upward toward the sky, a small shiver running down the entire column of your spirit's spine.
Oh no.
Keenly aware of another Inari, one that is upon your realm and yet oh so far. She is not supposed to be here, and she was never meant to be originally. You can feel her presence.
Yeah!
Inari
Damn it.
Sentai.
The art's
Sounds
very
exploding, bitch.
Like a comet overhead seeking to wipe all life from this world. This entity is one with which you shall clash. When you have reached the apex of your power, hopefully, you can feel that its presence, along with the massive tumor, as the plane described it of the dungeon, makes the world quiver in fear. You can feel it. This entity is not only malevolent, but will destroy this world and many others if given chance. A great calamity to be, or a foe to be put to rest. It is your duty, Terra or not, to strike this foe down by any means necessary and remove the foul fox before it has chance to destroy everything. You can feel its malevolence and spite ringing out like a soft hum upon the wind within the surface of this world. Will you accept such a duty? Will you try to save somebody that might simply be possessed? Or will you fail and watch the world crumble and turn to nothing more than a flaming ball of ash? As these thoughts cross your mind, what do you do?
Ame looks up at Ame eternally, like, how the fuck did that get here? You aren't supposed to be here, why are you here? As Ame is just gonna quickly, like, fucking look around. She's like, oh, bitch, why did that Kane guy leave? You probably have the answers here. As,
on a rock, you see a small parchment folded up, left in a cane. What shape would you like it to be in? Origami style?
I was about to say it's an origami and nariyami.
Ame just fucking... Ame just grabs, like, pulls it apart of her snout and her, like, and just using her fucking gigantic claws as, like, fingers.
Upon it, it reads, quote, yeah, I'm gonna do what I need to do here. Just stay here and I'll be back in like a week. If you want to come with me, you can just follow my footsteps. Signed, your lovely and bestest Inari-yami ever.
2 finger guns.
Ame in mild frustration. Ame in mild frustration eats the paper.
And you see there's only singular footsteps. You don't see a pair of 2. It's like 1 right foot and then 1 left foot. No, there's just 1 right foot and then just another right foot. That's just
Ame fucking
this direction.
Ame is gonna fucking like put her paws together like a Naruto sign as she fucking goes, as she goes her fox form, as she just like, you bitch, as she fucking goes 100 feet, 200 feet per 6 seconds.
La-di-da-da-da-da. Kane point of view is constantly just making a single right footprint. Not anything, not a left foot. It's not like he's walking, just a single right footprint. He's not making a left footprint.
Because basically, basically from my contemplation, how long do you think it would take me to get to the nearest fucking crystal from here if I didn't get help?
A couple of days probably, if you just full sent it.
Interesting.
You'd be exhausted, but you get there.
She at least wants to have a conversation with Kane before she makes that decision.
I don't know.
As the massive, fluffy fox with chromatic tails begins to bound off into the far distance. That is where we will end this session for today, y'all.
Wow.
Ba-ba-da-da.
I'll leave the questions about the fox form until after session.
Well, after
You'll have
session,
to
yes,
listen.
that was a pretty.
That has more notes than my normal session, so that's something.
Oh,
We would like to thank you all for watching, those of you who made it. And we hope to see you next time.
on the next adventure, which will be decided in the future. Next Monday, though, same time at 7 p.m. EST.
Remember, if you watch this stream, this is the only D&D stream you can watch that has an old fox lady in it. That's a whore.
Also,
An old hot fox lady, I think you mean.
yes.
Of course. This is the greatest degenerate stream as well for D&D. Anyway, have a good night, y'all.
Yes. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that, and we'll see you guys next week.